Hello friend, consider that you have written a smart contract and you need to gather some of the information like the current transaction details plus the value that has been sent or the amount. You need to know the sender details and about the information about the block or the contract also you need. So how do you get access to these kind of information? So for that reason, a smart contract provides by default some of the global objects. And in this video, I will be talking about the standard global objects that are given for any smart contract which you can use in order to accumulate these informations. So over here, first I have written a contract name like global object and a method name similar that a global object with the lowercase g. Now what I will be doing is that this particular function will talk about the global object from which I will be getting all the informations for that reason, and since moreover it would deal with the ether, and for that we have to come up with we have to make the use of the keyword called payable, otherwise you won't be able to see the amount related to ETH. Okay, so this is one of the important things that you need to remember. Now let's go through all of these different properties that the global object is going to provide, but first we will deploy the smart contract. Let's go and compile the smart contract, and the compilation seems to be successful. Now let's come over here and let's deploy the smart contract, and here the contract got installed. So if you see over here, these are the following properties that is coming right from the here. Now since we are going to deal with the ETH, we have to send the ETH. So for that reason, what we would do is that let's come over here, let's change the unit to ETH, and I'm giving a value of 1 ETH, and now I want to send this ETH. Okay, remember this is the account which I'm using, the very first account from the remix ID, that's what I'm using, and here I'm sending 1 ETH. Now I need to forward this. So initially, if you see over here, the balance of the smart contract is 0 because this is not yet been forwarded. So now let's come over here and let's click on the global object, and once I do that, immediately the balance changes to 1 ETH. So that means your smart contract has received 1 ETH, or you're forwarding 1 ETH. Okay, so now what happens? Well, you can check the balance, right? Because you have forwarded 1 ETH, so your smart contract has got a balance. And remember, 1 ETH means 1 followed by 18 zeros. So that's what we'll be able to see from the balance. So if you look over here, this is the property balance. But before you get into the balance, you have to come across the address of your smart contract. Then only will be able to get the balance. So balance will come when you have been able to track the address of the current smart contract in the Ethereum network. So for that reason, or the current block in the Ethereum network. So for that reason, address is going to play a very important role. So from that address, and this address would come when you target the current smart contract, and that's the reason why we have used this keyword over here. So this would allow me to know the instance, the current instance, and then only I will be able to get the address, and that's what I'm assigning into the contract address variable. Well, since it's an address, so for that reason you have to use the word called address over here, and from that address I will be able to track the balance. So this balance property is coming from the global object once we know the address of the current block. So now if I click on the balance, what I'm going to get, I will be getting 1 followed by 18 zeros because I have just now forwarded 1 ETH which we did few minutes ago, right? So that's how this particular two properties are going to work, and that's how you will be able to access the current balance that is left over. Now let's come over here to the next one, that is the sum. What do I mean by sum over here? This stores the ETH sent to the transaction. So how much amount has been forwarded, that is what the sum refers to, and that what would be the msg.value. So let's go and click over here. As you can see, the same amount that we have received, that has been mentioned over here as well. So for that reason, this is also need to be payable. Remember, in context to the message being sent, or in order to check the balance, in these two scenarios the function need to be of type payable, otherwise you won't be able to see the ETH. Okay, so this is a word of caution which you need to be careful. Now once we have done we have received how much amount of ETH that has been received, now let's go and check out the sender. So if I click on the sender, so sender, this is the address of the sender. So sender refers to the individual address who is going to generate this smart contract. So sender refers to the individual who initiated this transaction. So that's what the sender smart contract address is. That is what been mentioned over here. Now let's come to the timestamp, and this is actually been referred in the form of second that starts from Jan 1970. So what is the current timestamp? So let's come over here and let's click over this. So you are seeing the timestamp of this current particular block that has been initiated. Now let's come to the block number. This particular smart contract, what is the current block number of this particular smart contract that's been deployed? So if I click on the number, you might see a value like 16. That means this is a block number 16, means before this I have run the code number of time. So if you rerun the code once again, you would see another block number over here. So let me show you that even. So if I reload the page or reload the smart contract and then I deploy it, previously remember it was shown as 16. So let's come over here, and this is the smart contract in which we are working. So let's go and compile the code once again. Compilation is successful. Let's come over here and deploy the smart contract. Deployment also been done, and now what we are going is, at this point of time, if you go and check, you will find the number is 0. Let's come over here, number is 0, because we did not send any transaction. So therefore that reason we have to generate the transaction over here. So let me send one it, and then I come and click on the global object. The balance is now 1, and now if I go and see the number again, this time you will see 16. Remember the previous one was this time it was 18. Previously it was 16. So that means each time you will reload the smart contract and it will get deployed in the network, this particular block number will keep on increasing. So this is something which is quite important, right? So block number will tell me that what is the from this block number you will get to figure out that that means previously how many time you have created this block, or how many time you have initiated this block in the Ethereum network. That also you will be able to figure out from this particular number. Now apart from this, rest of the thing which you have just now checked with the balance would be the same, the sender would be the address, the sum would be the same, because we have just received and we are not forwarding any amount, so there has been no deduction as such. Now let's talk about the gas limit, what the gas limit we are left with. So if you come over here, it will show me the gas limit, because we didn't create any further transaction forward, so there won't be any reduction right now. But as we keep on working, of course the gas limit will be getting reduced, and it will show me the gas price. Well, this is some number you are getting, and that's based on which particular environment you are using. So depending upon the environment, your gas price might even get changed. Okay, so overall what we found is that these are some of the global object that a smart contract is going to provide, and from this global object you will be able to gather these information. So this can be a very important question during the interview session, where the interviewer asks you that for a given smart contract, what are the different global objects that are being provided. So in that case you have to refer all these properties, and at the same time you need to mention the functionality of these properties and how they are working, and that's what we have shown you right over here. So if you rerun this particular code, you will be able to figure out that how these objects are going to affect our entire smart contract. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. See you soon. Bye bye.